For my 30th birthday, my in-laws got me a $25 Facebook gift card. What gifts has Reddit received that proves just how little someone knows you? For Christmas, 1992, my grandma sent me a VHS copy of Silence of the Lambs. I was 6. She had no idea what it was about. A group of fun-loving lambs get taken over by a mean-spirited goat who wouldn't let them talk. Watch this heartwarming story about sticking together and understand what it takes to stand up for yourself. Someone gave me a strobe light. I'm epileptic. Also, when I couldn't drive nor owned a vehicle, I got a gift card to AutoZone. Every year for Christmas my aunt gives me earrings. They're usually very nice and I always thank her for the thought but point out that I do not and never will have my ears pierced. Every year she says, really? Me either. I should remember that because very few people don't have their ears pierced. Then I get earrings again. Both my sisters, who do have pierced ears, tend to get necklaces. I guess she knows there's some correlation between me and earrings and just always gets it backward. I have an aunt that does this for my sister and I, both unpierced, every year. Some of them are very expensive. When I moved away to college, I got a 1-foot tall Christmas tree to cheer me up in exams and decorated it with the 15 years worth of earrings. Last Christmas my aunt gave me a gift card to Starbucks. When I went to use it a couple days later, I found out that it was an old gift card that she had used up and was just getting rid of garbage. I think this is the worst. These other ones, at least the people put some effort into it. But your gift, dang. When I was younger, I lived in a small mountain community in Colorado. My mom used to give my sister and I a bit of spending money and send us off to the local general store to get us out of her hair. One year, when I was 6 and my sister was 8, we decided to pool our money together and buy a birthday present for my father. We picked out a nice t-shirt with a cool picture of a bull on it and couldn't understand why the cashier kept asking us if we were sure that's the shirt we wanted. Imagine my mother's horror when we arrived home with a shirt that said, "I had a ball at the Testicle Festival." Apparently it was some kind of annual Rocky Mountain oyster thing. Needless to say, she made us return the shirt. I don't know. I think that could have been the best ever gift. If I was your mom, I would have helped wrap that crap and then sat back and watched the dad's face. My aunt has been sending me an Elmo t-shirt for my birthday since I was 5. I'm now 20. My theory is that she bought them in bulk and is sending them one at a time to me because they are always the same size. 15 5th birthdays, a slightly less interesting version of 51st dates. My grandmother gave me a book titled "You Are Special." It was a book for mentally and physically disabled children. I was neither. About 3 years ago for Christmas, my grandfather gave me and my wife a bag full of used mismatched washcloths and towels and tubes of moisturizer he received from the hospital for his stump. Yes, we were gifted leg stump moisturizer from my amputee grandfather. My great-grandmom gave me a bag of pennies and one of the things you use to hit the puck in air hockey. This was pre-stroke. There was no valid excuse. My grandma got me a Ryan Malcolm CD for Christmas when I was 15. I couldn't hide the disappointment. For those who don't know, Ryan Malcolm was a Canadian Idol winner. Till there's a Canadian Idol. I'm 26 now and haven't drank a drop of alcohol since I was 21. Never had a drinking problem myself, but it runs in my family, so I just avoid it. My fiance's family and I get along great. His mom loves me and it's not like I secretly think they do it on purpose, but the last 2 years she spaced out and got me an alcohol vodka squirt gun and then last year a alcohol chess set. As soon as she saw my face, the apologies began and I could tell in earnest she just forgot, but seriously. Also, I'm 5 months pregnant with her first grandchild. I hope she remembers that when buying my gift this year. Calling it now. A baby bottle filled with Baileys. On Christmas when I was 4, my uncle gave me a bottle of vitamins that were marked on clearance. Also, my other aunt and uncle usually buy me lottery tickets for my birthday. I hate getting lottery tickets as gifts. It's like saying here's probably nothing. Enjoy. A few years ago my grandmother got me a candy pooping reindeer thing, a snowman ornament with my name spelled wrong, and a dollar store journal with a cat and the text "Stay Cool" on it. I was like 17. I got my sister that candy pooping reindeer when I was 14 and she was 12. It was a big hit. I was regifted something I had given to a friend a few years prior. It was this ornament I had gotten at a one-of-a-kind show. Nothing is worse than the regift people. At least give it to someone else if you don't like it. If they're the type of person who regifts, it's very possible that they just don't remember who gave it to them. My step-grandmother absolutely hates my sisters and I. One year we got gift bags filled with Vienna sausages, a roll of toilet paper, and a tube of toothpaste. My mother received the exact same gift, but she scored some washcloths. Last Christmas she showed up to open gifts Christmas morning with a pile of presents. While they were getting passed around she informs my sisters and I planned on getting you girls small flashlights and gold nail polish, but when I tried to order them they said they were sold out. Apparently they were not sold out of the gifts. She chose to give her biological grandchildren. It's okay, she'll be dead soon. I used to ask all my family members for Legos and action figures for birthdays and Christmas. My grandma said girls shouldn't play with boy toys, so she used to give me a doll from her collection. I was horribly afraid of dolls and clowns when I was little, and my mom used to put them in the display case right across from my bed. They stared at me all night, just watching. I was the same, and my mom got me some dolls for Christmas one year when I was really little and videotaped me opening presents. It's just a tape of a little girl getting more and more confused and disappointed after each present is opened. For our wedding gift, my father-in-law gave us a mum in a ceramic pot. The pot had a little plaque on it congratulating my Phil on his retirement. Oh my god, I thought this said our mum in a ceramic pot, like she had been cremated previously and he was giving her to you. Last Christmas, my dad got me a blank holiday card. When I asked him why he didn't write something in it, he responded with, "Well, this way you can actually use the card." My mom got me a couple of XL shirts from the Big and Tall store. I am tall and thin. I wear a size medium in regular people clothes. Ouch. My husband's aunt once gave us a half-used box of Christmas icicle decorations for Christmas once. Most of the decorations were missing and on her tree. She probably wasn't aware you two were coming and it was a last resort. My mother-in-law bought me makeup for Christmas. If I put makeup on my face I break out something awful. I had told her this several times when she asked why I never wore makeup. 2 years later she sent me Hannah Montana clothes made for tweens. I was 26. For my 22nd birthday my grandfather mailed me a stuffed donkey. I figured it was his joking, grandfatherly way of showing me some liberal solidarity in our very Republican family. When I called him to thank him, he said he thought I'd love it because I love Western movies. I mean, we maybe watched a John Wayne movie together 10 years ago. So yeah, it makes sense that a 23-year-old woman would want a stuffed donkey. Haha, it's the thought that counts. Gifts like that are special because it means that the person has gone to great lengths all over a fond memory they must have of time you and them spent together. Even if it's ridiculous, it's still kinda cool. I got a variety of vests for Christmas 11 years in a row from my parents. I have never worn a vest in my life. Don't think I look good in vests, and I'm generally warmer than the average person in the room. It stopped when they came to a garage sale and saw them all in a pile. That was awkward as heck. Any chance we could Kris Kringle some of these and wanted gifts to other redditors that might want them? Dibs on the cheeseburger t-shirt. I freaking love cheeseburgers. I will trade for a small toolkit unused. I want some grandma clothes. I have no old people left to misunderstand me. Me, a boy approaching his 11th birthday, extremely conservative family in small Texas town, just starting to realize budding homosexual attractions. My grandma was in the hospital and I'm sure she was the one that usually picked out the birthday card, but that year my grandpa stepped up and picked one out for me instead. Front of card, an illustration of a huge tiered birthday cake with lots of candles and the text, "Make a wish." Inside, a huge pop-up photo of a gorgeous bare-chested dude popping out of the cake. Text, "Your good wisher, me." Red-faced and scared shitless that I'd been found out. My grandpa was oblivious though, and while my parents were confused, they had a hearty laugh about it. A decade later though, they aren't laughing so much. TLDR. Conservative grandpa inadvertently gives closeted 11 years grandson a gay birthday card. My grandmother makes clothes, always has. When I was younger, this was awesome. Now, it just sucks. One year, she sent a box with a sweater in it. She had taken a regular pullover sweatshirt, cut it up the center, hemmed the sides, and then used her embroidery machine to just murder that crap with cowboy boots, lizards, cowboy hats, and lassos. I am so, very much, not into any of those things. To top it off, it was a beige sweatshirt. Shudder. I felt bad, but I gave that thing away. You know, decent embroidery machines cost thousands of dollars, sometimes in the tens of thousands range. If I had shelled out that much for one, I would use every excuse I had to use it. My mom gave me shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and shaving cream, all of which she took from our downstairs closet and wrapped in a box. She gave me my own shower supplies for my birthday. I once received a rhinestone applying kit for Christmas from my aunt. At the time I was a 16-year-old male. Also it was packed in a very fresh looking Xbox box. I have never owned a console. Let's just say bit of a letdown. Your female cousin swapped it out so she could have the Xbox. This year for my birthday my older cousin, 29 years old, got me a preserved baby cobra in a small container and a real beetle as a paperweight. I asked her what it was for. Her and her husband replied, "I don't know, you're the archaeologist. We just got it for you. You tell us, is IT really that hard to Google the definition of archaeology? Is it EE?" Mother-in-law bought me a bottle of extra virgin olive oil that was 3 months past its use by date for my birthday. You could see the remnants of the yellow Tesco reduced sticker. I didn't care, but my wife yelled at her for it. For some reason this is one of the funniest ones. I once received a tin of biscuits for Christmas. I do like biscuits, but the tin was 2 years out of date and the good ones had already been eaten. For Christmas one year my parents got me a book teaching children about sex. One day I finally decided to read it while I was home alone. It was horrible. No. Book. I do not find the mailman sexy. Oh. My grandparents got me a Thomas the Tank Engine book when I was 15. When I was 16, 17, and 18, they got me various toy model cars including a Jeep Grand Cherokee, a Hess truck, and a Thunderbird, the only remotely cool one. I have never collected cars or expressed much of any special interest in them. My nana, bless her, got me a lovely necklace. It was a braided gold cross with several gemstones in it, and she gave it to me for my birthday one year. I'm not in any way, shape, or form religious, definitely not Christian, and I very rarely wear jewelry. I wore it every time I went to go visit her or take her out shopping or to lunch, though, and I wore it when I gave the eulogy at her funeral service. I haven't been able to wear it since, because just looking at it makes me cry, so for 2 years it's just been sitting in my jewelry box. I need to think of something meaningful to do with it, because I can't bear to wear it, but I also don't want it to just sit there gathering dust. I'm not answering your question exactly, but it's a story about an accordion, so it's okay. One year when I was in college, whenever any of my family members asked me what I wanted for Christmas, I said I wanted an old crappy accordion. It was a sort of test to see whether my family members actually listened to me. Come Christmas Day, no accordion. Other gifts that I was very thankful for, and that costed more than an accordion, but still no accordion. When I got back to school and exchanged gifts with my girlfriend at the time, she whips out what looked like an old suitcase, and inside was a sweet but old accordion that she bought from an antiques thrift store. She'd overheard me talking to my mom, and so she bought exactly what I'd asked for. We've been married for almost a decade. Something like this happened to me last year, except with the exact opposite results. I'd been dropping hints for weeks saying that I wanted a particular item because every year no one knows what to get me and I wind up with nothing. So it comes time to open presents and everyone got me the same exact present. Oh, and I'm alone. My ex-boyfriend gave me a David Bowie Labyrinth action figure. I had never expressed any interest in David Bowie or Labyrinth. However, I now know both those things are awesome. Too bad I threw it away. No, that hair was great. My friends have a weird tradition where they give me weird crappy gifts for my birthday. Last year my friend who works at a fast food joint gave me 400 packets of Heinz mayonnaise. My godmother bought me a toy RC car when she came to visit one year. She thought it was my birthday that day, so RC car. She didn't realize that I was probably 15/16 at the time and that it wasn't my birthday, not even close. But hey, RC car. I had totaled my truck in a particularly brutal accident in early November one year. I didn't have the money to buy a new vehicle and felt like a loser begging people for rides all the time. Not to mention I was still rather traumatized over the accident itself by the time the holidays hit. For Christmas my aunt bought me a tire pressure gauge. It was like ripping those wounds right open again. The next year my grandmother bought me a small t-shirt. I wear an extra large. I used to be a big whiskey and beer drinker. One year for Christmas, a girl from work that I went to the bar with all the time got me a really expensive Bailey's gift set, a bottle of Alizé, and a Smirnoff Ice hat. I have no idea how she came to these three things, but when I opened them, she asked, "That's not gay, is it?" I just replied, "Well, it's not semen." She's inviting herself over pretty hard, bro. I got a bunch of deodorants for Christmas from most of my cousins. 4 out of 5 was deodorant or male beauty products. I barely even knew these people, and I'm pretty sure that beauty was not the top of my concerns at the time. Thankfully the last was big bar of Toblerone, so all was not lost. Thanks Sarah. They were trying to tell you something. Got a leather tray for a desk. Looked it up. Turned out to be either the in or out tray that is only sold as part of a 23-part office set. I can put everything into one unorganized pile on my desk, except I don't need to write for my job, and type everything, have no need to print it off. In the 26 seconds that this has been up, I have laughed the entire time. A Facebook gift card. That's freaking golden. I never believed that Zynga's business model would be profitable. Last Christmas, my former roommate bought me chopstick kids, the rubber aids that help you learn how to use chopsticks. I'm half Japanese, and chopsticks were the first utensils I learned to use. Sad part was she didn't buy them as a joke. My aunt gave me a pink bunny outfit as a child. Aunt Clara had for years labored under the delusion that I was not only perpetually 4 years old, but also a girl. On year 4 Christmas my grandma gave me a Lord of the Rings move. It was the Two Towers. I didn't own the first or third movie. The kicker was it was on VHS. I have never once owned a VHS player. The fact she found it on VHS is pretty impressive. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.